Hey there, welcome to another episode of Cooking with Violet Vixen. Tonight we are making a sweet treat and it is called mini pecan banoffee pies. For those of you that don't know, a banoffee pie is basically caramel with banana, and caramel is awesome. So that's why I've chosen these, and these are quick and easy to make. Relatively quick because we're not making pastry. So this is what we need. Come on in and I'll show you the ingredients. Okay, so first up, oven on to 180. Doesn't matter whether it's fan forced or not, just put it on 180. You need one baking tray or two that are going to take the tartlet cases. You also need a small saucepan, a stirring spoon, and a heat-proof jug. That one should be big enough because that's actually a litre. Alright, this is what else we need. So we've gone with the 12 Pampers frozen sweet pastry cases. That is a tongue twister and a half. These are actually the best ones. You can't always get them, but most of the times I can get them in Coles. So that's where I got those from. 125 grams of pecans. We're also going to need another tray to roast those. I forgot to tell you that. A sliced banana to serve. I'm not going to slice that until we're ready to serve. For our caramel filling, we need 1/4 cup of firmly packed brown sugar. What is firmly packed, you ask? Basically, you can't fit another grain in it. That is firmly packed. 20 grams of butter, salted butter, 1/4 cup of pouring cream. Use thick cream, it's fine. And finally, 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Pow, there we go. All right, so first things first, grab your 1 baking tray or 2 baking trays. I've gone with 2 because my 1 baking tray is up a bit higher and I want these to sit flat. And plus, if I put the 2 of these in my oven together, I can actually fit them on the same shelf, which is a miracle. Alright, so these are what these little goodness cases look like. These are very delicious, these. The ones I cooked last time, I needed to give a bit longer. So I'm actually glad that this recipe is telling me to cook these for 15 minutes. So they're basically going to be cooked right through because we are not putting them back in the oven, just so you know. So that pastry has to be cooked. If you don't think it looks cooked enough, go with your instinct to know that you're right and give it an extra 5 minutes. Ovens are different. Some ovens fan forced, you might not need it up as high, but mine is a whatever the hell force it wants to take on for the day. So after last week's experience, 15 minutes is probably going to be good for me with this one. Alright, so these are going in for 15 minutes. While they're in, we'll get the caramel started. Okay, so while they're in the oven, technically I don't really like putting 2 things in at the same time, but I think I might be alright with these. So we want the pecans over a baking tray. So spread them out. These only need to cook for 8 minutes. So what I would do is I would wait until your pastry cases need 8 minutes and then put them in the oven at the same time. It could hinder one thing or the other cooking though, but if you don't have a lot of time, I'd do it that way. If you've got plenty of time, I'd let the pastry cook first and then do the pecans. So I'll leave that one up to you, but they're 8 minutes in the oven. So we've got 12 minutes. So we're not going to do those just yet. Alright, so that small saucepan, we'll start it over here and then we'll go over to the stove top. In this, to make the caramel filling, what we need is the sugar, butter, cream and vanilla. which is everything. So in goes that. It's so firmly packed. Look at that. Perfect. In goes that. In goes our 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. And finally, in goes our 1/4 cup of pouring cream. Pouring cream is the thinner cream. I prefer the thicker one, mainly because you know, at least it's going to be thick. We don't want a thin consistency here. Alright, I'm just going to let that drain out a little bit if I can. It doesn't really like that, but we'll see how that goes. Okay, so we are going to put this over a low heat. And we're going to cook it stirring for 3 to 5 minutes or until the butter melts and the mixture is smooth. Then we're going to put it into our heat-proof jug. So when you're convinced that you've got everything out and it looks something like that, let's go over to our stovetop. Okay, so with my hot plates, I've got to start it up high and then bring the temperature down. Otherwise, it's like watching paint dry. I don't know if you've ever done that, but if you haven't, you don't want to start now. So, while you've got a little bit of time, use this time to clean up your kitchen. Put things away that you no longer need. Alright. So now that that's starting to get warm, I'm going to back it down to 2. And we just basically want everything to be melted. And the mixture needs to be smooth. Okay. Keep an eye on your timer. We've got 2 minutes before we've got 8 minutes to go. So remember what I said about if you want to put your pecans in, that would be the time to do it. With this recipe, you need everything to cool down as well. Fortunately for me, I'm in the Blue Mountains and it's freezing cold. Prior to filming this video, I had an extra layer on as well. So the good thing is hot food cools very quickly in the winter. So it's good for me. Alright. I'm going to put the pecans in now. I don't really like to disturb this tray, but I don't have a choice. And just catch a nice whiff of those tartlet cases. They're looking pretty good. So when that buzzer goes off, at least I know everything comes out. I'm not going to slice the banana up until they're ready to serve. These, if you're not eating them straight away, keep them in the fridge. Anything with cream you should keep in the fridge. As I said, probably doesn't matter when it's freezing cold, leaving it out. But generally overall, anything with cream you want to keep in the fridge. Alright. As you can see, it's starting to come together nicely. Try and stir it as much as you can. That way it has the least amount of time on the stovetop. Alright, I'll be right back. Okay, now you don't want to bring it to the boil, but you want it smooth. So, I'm happy with that. So I'm going to move this from the heat. And we have got about 3 minutes before the rest is ready to follow. Okay, our buzzer's gone. Get your gloves. You're not going to just grab these out of the oven. All right. First out comes the pecans. I'm happy with those. They smell good. Second of all, oh look, see, that's perfect. You want that nice golden brown colour. All right, and then the second lot. Oh, excellent. All right, turn off your oven so you don't forget. And then bring these over. We want to put them on a rack so that they can cool as quick as possible. As I explained earlier, it's pretty cold, so they're not going to take very long to cool. So just place these on this rack here. This gives them a chance to, the good thing about these cake cooling racks is that it gives them plenty of time to get cool air all around them. And if you haven't got a cake cooling rack, I suggest you get one, especially if you're going to be cooking a lot of cakes. You don't have to get a fancy one. They're quite cheap. Just go to Kmart or even when you're in the supermarket and pick one up. But it will save you a lot of time, especially if you want to frost a cake. You should never frost a cake when it's hot. Otherwise, quite simply, your frosting just keeps melting and it's not very good. Right. Okay, I'll be back shortly. Okay, so I just had to take a phone call and I forgot to press stop, and no one needs to hear what I was talking about, so therefore I was unable to edit, so I just have to talk you through what we did. So what I had to do was chop up the pecans, either use your mortar and pestle or chopping board and a knife, sprinkle them in the cases, that caramel sauce that we had, spoon it in, chop up your banana, put your banana on top, and then sprinkle with the last of the pecans. I had actually done all that, but my editing sucks, and so does my phone call and forgetting that I was on the phone. So, sorry about that. That was the episode called Mini Pecan Banoffee Pies. I hope you enjoy them. I've been on the phone for an hour and I've been looking at these and I want one. So, enjoy, and I'll catch you on our next adventure. Bye!